Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, trainers. Welcome to Limited Edition Pokemon. My name is Mike Towndrow. I am joined by Matthew Wright,
Hooty hoo!
Jacob Palmer,
What up?
and special guest Kelsey Lynn Lewis.
Wow.
Mac Towndrow.
The return. So this is a little different of an episode. This is a special edition where we are going to talk about the greatest film of all time, Detective Pikachu. We are going to keep it spoiler-free for the first 10 minutes or whatever, and then we'll do a clear, hey, stop listening. We're going to go into spoilers. And, yeah. So, what'd you guys think of the movie?
We're going to address something real quick. Sorry, YouTube, you don't get to see our faces for this one.
Oh, whatever, yeah.
Hey, we got
But-
viewers there.
Yeah, the audio will be way better now, so,
And if it makes anybody feel better, I am actually wearing a Pokeball shirt.
yeah.
Oh, it'd be nice if I could see it. I'm kidding.
So, yeah, what do we think of the movie?
Oh my god, we finally got a good video game movie.
Finally got a good video game movie. And a great first great first live-action Pokemon movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a long time coming. The way they did it, with the world, everything just looks amazing. I was kind of afraid with some of the live action Pokemon that they weren't going to look too great, but I have no complaints.
Same. Everything looked fantastic. The world felt very much established and lived in. It was beautiful. It felt like Tim Geddes put it in a good way. It felt like watching Iron Man 1 and like this is the start of something big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt, what about you?
I enjoyed it. Not as much as you guys, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think I'm on the same level as you, Matt.
I am. Like, not going into any spoilers yet, but I felt like some of the timing was off comedic-wise. Some of it was maybe like a little too much of a lull, and then some of it was just like there wasn't even a chance to react to some of the jokes.
Yeah.
Not really spoiler because of the jokes in the trailer, but the twisty joke just kind of comes and goes right at you fast and doesn't really give you much of a chance to, because there's exposition going on in that point. So
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I can see that.
Kelsey, what'd you think?
I loved it. I mean, visually, I thought it was great. And I thought they did a really good job of bringing all the Pokemon to life in like a realistic way.
Yeah.
Snorlax could have been bigger.
Yes.
yeah, definitely.
That's
Yeah,
the
we were
only-
talking about that last night. The scale of everybody was interesting to see compared to like human size.
Dude, Machamp almost in a thong. Yeah.
Just to kind of go off like the comedic timing and the pacing, all that kind of stuff. For me, this film felt like an animated film, which is pretty much what I wanted, like as far as acting goes and plot line goes. Like this was a Pokemon ass story, and I fucking love that. Like I'm glad it didn't take itself too seriously. I'm glad like some of the acting was like not like we'll get into like some of the acting that I thought fell flat, but it didn't really bother me. But I liked the way it was acted, where it wasn't really like a drama, like a normal film. It wasn't like an MCU film. This still felt very much like a Pokemon movie, with kind of exaggerated characters and whatnot.
Yeah. I don't want to go too much into it because it's going to spoil some of the movie.
Yeah,
but
so let's just get. So I mean, everybody liked it. Let's get into spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, come back later. And yeah, so
Spoilers, Pikachu's in it.
spoilers, Pikachu's in it.
can-
I
can
love that this is just a straight up Mewtwo fucking story.
Oh no, I loved it. I'm glad it was a Mewtwo story, but boy was I scared with the way they were gonna go with it. Like when you figured out it's gonna be a Mewtwo story, and then what they did with Mewtwo, I'm like, oh please tell me they're not gonna like Bill Nighy's character's not gonna inhabit Mewtwo, and now that's Mewtwo. Like I was so scared they were gonna go that route.
Oh no, I didn't think it. I mean, obviously it was gonna have a happy ending or whatever, but
Right.
Maybe I don't remember, but since when can Mewtwo like take some human soul and enter it into a Pokemon?
I think
That's
they could.
just that's
yeah,
just,
I thought that he could, and I think that was established in one of the animes.
Huh.
Yeah,
he's strong. So and now we know the pronunciation of Arceus.
Yeah.
That was one of the weird things to me because Bill Nighy's character, I can't remember his character name. I can't remember
Howard?
his name. Howard
Yeah.
something
Science guy.
Stark. He's talking about how Mewtwo is the most powerful Pokemon, and like right behind him is Arceus, who is arguably God in the Pokemon world. Like, wait, Mewtwo is the strongest Pokemon?
Yeah, I don't think so. They also have Palkia behind him too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Gal or whatever. I don't know the two Pokemon from Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah, obviously we don't get to see any of them. There's just the statues, but I am glad that we only get Mewtwo as like the one legendary that we're dealing with. I
Right.
thought it would have been too much if we like I forgot who said this, but I think it was Dustin. He told me that when Tim brought Pikachu through the forest and puts him on the pedestal, he thought Celebi was going to pop up to heal him.
I 100% thought that was going to happen too.
Yeah, which would have been cool, but I feel like if we were dealing with more than one legendary, it would have been a little too much for, especially for a first film, introducing a mainstream audience to this world.
Either Celebi or Mew, I thought was
Yeah.
going to show up because they
Mew
did
would've
mention
made
Mew.
sense.
Yeah, because they did mention Mew. Of course, I was like laughing in the back of my mind. I'm like, I'm gonna piss my pants if it's just a Chansey, like in a Nurse Joy outfit.
I thought it was going to be a Chansey.
Yeah.
Me too. Like I really wanted it to just be Chansey in a Nurse Joy outfit, and then it'd just be like, what the hell?
Yeah. No, and I mean, going back to the Pokemon designs and stuff, I love Mewtwo's design. I love that they gave Mewtwo a voice similar to the first film.
The super muscular legs.
Yeah, the super muscular
Thick,
legs,
thick thighs.
thick thighs. I love making Mewtwo a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. Like
That's a
they
good twist
did
on
kind of, they did twist it a little bit, like where he's like against humanity. I'm like, all right, this makes sense for Mewtwo to be against humanity.
Yeah.
But then he's like, there are some good people out there. It's like, sweet.
And there is a line in the film that like this signifies that it's a sequel to Red and Blue, saying that Mewtwo was captured 20 years ago.
Kanto 20 years ago. Yeah.
It's fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
It's really establishing this world and establishing that like, yeah, what you've played is sort of canon. Yeah.
I will say the only thing I said I didn't like about Mewtwo that I said to Mike after we got out of the movie was the couple steps he took made me really uncomfortable. I was like, no, you get off the ground, you float, you do not take steps.
Well, it's Howard walking for the first time after being in a wheelchair.
But still, I was uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's a little weird, but
The one twist that I absolutely loved was Ditto taking over human bodies.
dude, when they went full Ditto on the human forms, I'm like, all right, this is
So
definitely
cool.
Pokemon ass movie.
I love that. Yeah, like so I love that there was like a little bit of a red herring with the drug or whatever, the R serum.
Right.
Thinking, I mean, as soon as I said R, I looked at my buddy Russ and I was like, "Oh fuck, this could be fucking Rocket."
Team
It's gonna be
Rocket.
fucking really
that's
cool.
that's what I instantly thought.
Yeah, which I'm sure was purposeful. Like you could pick any other goddamn letter in the goddamn alphabet.
Yeah.
So I assume Suki Waterhouse's character was like a Rocket executive, but having her as a Ditto is just incredible.
Yeah. So when you were watching this movie, like it's kind of hard to like just watch for the story and also see how many Pokemon you can catch in this in this movie. Like how many did you see? Truly,
Yeah.
like some of them weren't even like live action. They were like a neon sign or just on like posters and stuff like that, which was really cool. And they really nailed like the world. Like this is definitely a Pokemon world.
Yeah, I will say second watch last night, because I was doing mostly like just background watching. They definitely had their set types of Pokemon and just repeated them a lot, which is like
yeah.
that was a one little bummer, but I understand why. Like it's the first film, you don't want to be too overwhelming, and I appreciate that it was a range of like across all generations, not just sticking with a bunch of Kanto, a bunch of Johto, because you do establish that this is a world, not just a region.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the one little bummer that you see like a shit ton of Jigglypuffs, you see a shit ton of Growlithes, you see a shit ton of Tricos, a ton
Exactly.
of Tricos.
Trico. That's where the one crime of this movie lies. Is we get like 6-8 Tricos in this movie, not one Mudkip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. Like I was kind of hoping like when they were doing like the firemen like in the Squirtle taking out the.
I
the
wanted
fire.
one of them to have sunglasses so bad.
That's what I was hoping
So
for. I
there-
thought they
There
were going to
was a
do an
Squirtle
homage
Squad.
to Squirtle
There
Squad.
was a Squirtle Squad at the end.
There was, but they still didn't
No
have
sunglasses.
sunglasses.
Yeah, no sunglasses, but yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it would
Yeah,
be cool with the sunglasses,
I think
but
that was my one minor complaint. But if all the money goes towards making a select number of Pokemon like fucking awesome looking,
Right.
then I'm cool with that.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad with what they did with the what's the turtle?
Torkotil.
Torterra.
Oh,
Torterra.
Torterra. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm glad they did that when like I saw the trailer. I thought like, are we getting fucking Groudon in this movie?
Dude,
Yeah, right.
I thought like I didn't watch a lot of trailers, so I didn't know Bill Nye was going to be in the movie.
I don't think they showed him in the
Yeah,
trailers.
no, Bill Nye wasn't in the trailer.
Oh, cool. But yeah, I didn't know like a lot of characters and a lot of Pokemon that were going to be in this movie. So seeing like, I thought they were going to go Mega Evolution with this Torterra thing. I was like almost thinking they were going to start joining in the Mega Evolution, because like with the serum, it would have made sense in a way. Like this makes the Pokemon, you know, outraged and stronger, and it could hurt them, and then do this Mega Evolution story. But I understand it would have been too much at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I think that whole lab and setting up the lab just strictly experimenting on evolutions does set up the potential of introducing Mega Evolutions into the series.
Yeah.
But even going back to like the beginning of the film, where there's only one moment of catching a Pokemon, there's only one true Pokemon battle. I feel like
Right.
you just plant those seeds for a mainstream audience that doesn't understand this film, and you kind of get them sort of acquainted. So like later on in the sequel or whatever it's going to be, obviously it can't be a Detective Pikachu 2, but whatever
Right.
the next Pokemon film is, you can
Balls
start
out.
introducing. Yeah, you can start introducing a more catching, a traditional Pokemon story.
Yeah. And it could be him finally, you know, getting his own Pokemon and going back to, you know, what he truly wanted to be when he was younger. Like, you can actually use these same characters. I don't know how Ryan Reynolds could be in it, but...
Yeah, so before we talk about the sequel, let's talk about the characters and the story of this movie.
Yeah. So I mean, we really only have the two main human characters: Tim,
Right.
played by Justice Smith, and Lucy. I forgot the actress's name. I thought Justice Smith was great. I think he was awesome, like main protagonist. His chemistry with Ryan Reynolds was fucking awesome. You definitely felt that relationship. What I was referring to earlier, where like the acting like fell a little flat, but it still worked for me. Being this anime ass story, was Lucy.
Yeah.
Kathleen Newton.
I think,
Kathleen Newton, okay.
And just thinking about the movie, I don't think it was actually anybody's fault in the cast, because like my problems with like the timing and everything, I think actually a lot of the acting woes and stuff like that falls on the editing of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like the performances were fine, and like I was saying, like how some of the comedic timing and stuff was all. If you know you have a good editor in the seat, like all this stuff would have felt a lot better.
Yeah, surprising to me was the runtime of the film, which was only like hour and 45. Like if you maybe padded out some of that editing to let some of the jokes breathe, probably would have played a little better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, like I didn't have a problem with Lucy or any of the acting at all, but because it to me this film felt like an animated Pokemon movie. Just
Yeah, it was definitely a kids movie, and
yeah.
But no, I loved it, especially the underground battle.
Oh my god, the battle was fucking incredible,
fantastic. The
Dude,
Loud Reds.
Especially seeing Gengar, the Gengar design was incredible.
Oh
and
god,
Gengar
that was
being
creepy.
One of my
that was
favorites.
nightmare-inducing, man.
Just my only complaint again about this movie is like the sizing of these Pokemon. Like Blastoise should have been bigger. Gengar should have been a little bit taller. They just seemed really small in this
I don't
area.
know.
Like,
I think it was a good size arena.
Yeah, it was a good size arena, and I mean in Pokemon, like in the games and stuff, each Pokemon has their own height and weight and all that kind of stuff. They're not all the same sizes, so it could have been a smaller Blastoise or a bigger Gengar, stuff like that.
true.
I love Loudred's. Just the purpose of Loudred playing the music.
You know, you don't like dubstep, but
the cameo of Diplo as the fucking DJ. Was,
it's hilarious.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pikachu kicking the freaking Magikarp, and like it doesn't evolve, and then all of a sudden it does evolve into Gyarados. I'm like, oh.
Man,
How bad
Gyarados'
did you want that
design-
Gyarados to be shiny?
Yeah,
It wouldn't make sense if the Magikarp wasn't shiny though.
I know.
yeah. The Gyarados design was rad. Like
That
that
was-
was kind of like translucent and like lit up.
Yeah.
Just for them to just do an evolution, you know, right there was pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, it was cool to see the few evolutions that we got like that, and Eevee into Flareon.
Yeah,
which was like
that was
very
cool.
quick. But I wish we got
Like,
a closer shot of Eevee.
I'm like,
but
where's your Firestone?
yeah,
Well, I think on his desk, he
Yeah,
had all
yeah.
the different stones right
Yeah.
there.
yeah, especially being a man or arguably a scientist obsessed with evolution. Yeah, no, I mean, this is just such a. I fucking love this. I mean, it honestly exceeded all my expectations. Like, this could have easily been a terrible film.
Oh yeah.
Oh, easily, yeah.
Like, for them to not fuck up a Pokemon movie is
So
a miracle.
I will say, like, I thought watching the trailers, I thought Ryan Reynolds would have probably been the only good thing to come out of this movie. But honestly, I'm surprised about everything.
Yeah, like there's nothing I didn't enjoy.
I actually
Psyduck
like-
was fucking incredible.
Yeah, Psyduck was great. I actually like Justice Smith more than
Yeah,
I
he's
like
great.
Ryan Reynolds in this movie. To be
Justice
honest.
Smith is he was great in the Get Down. That's where I kind of
Oh yeah.
started becoming a fan of his.
My one little note, and I told you guys this walking out of the movie. I feel like it could have been more hype, more excitable if it had licensed music, like the trailers were kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they try to put in some of the music into their own way, but it would have been better with.
I'm tired of movies in the past 2 decades all trying to have like their own score, and most of them are just entirely forgettable. Back in the 80s and 90s, like you'd have soundtracks to almost every movie. Oh, I want it back.
I did like the score a lot though. There was a lot of like little chiptune-y stuff
Yeah.
that like blended with modern like electronic music, which I really liked. Fucking Pikachu sad singing the theme song is
That was
probably
hilarious.
the best moment in it.
Oh, hands down.
So who almost cried when Pikachu actually was talking like Pikachu at the car wreck scene?
Oh yeah,
Oh my God, yeah.
I was like, don't do this again.
Like that's gonna be the Ash and Pikachu moment. like, in this
Seriously,
movie, and it's like,
that's what I
oh,
thought it was going. I'm like, no, stop.
And the other thing that kind of got me was Ryan's performance when he was like fainting after he got hit with the rock. Yeah, I do like they like subtly play into the whole the match, the type matchups with like he got hit by a small rock, but that would be super effective against him.
Yeah.
So yeah, that fucked him up.
And the rock wasn't even that big, and you're
Yeah,
just
no,
like
that's what
not
I'm
even
saying.
thinking. You're like not
Yeah.
even thinking about it, and you're just like, huh, like
Yeah.
how did that hurt him? And then you're just like, oh yeah, typing,
Yeah,
it matters.
it matters. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's so many moments and just all the Pokemon designs, all like the little callbacks and stuff. Obviously, the Mr. Mime thing. This film got like super dark during that, which I really appreciated.
The freaking Mr. Mime scene was probably my favorite scene throughout the whole entire movie. It was just I expected him to be creepy, and then it just played off funny, the way he did it. And then
That was
just
fantastic.
him's
Gasoline
like,
thing.
yeah, the whole gasoline thing. He's like pouring it on, and he's like, no, don't. And then he's talking to Pikachu, and he has the match, and he throws it down, and then they
scene.
just look. Yeah, it's scene.
Like, there's definitely a rated R cut in here somewhere between like that and the subtle cocaine joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. No, and a couple moments from Ryan Reynolds where like he definitely like plays into the character during the Mr. Mime scene. Like, just use your words, talk, stop miming. So good. And interesting enough, I saw the first night I saw this. I saw it with somebody who knows nothing about Pokemon. Like, she wasn't allowed to like grow up with this world, and she was like pretty much just not allowed to really explore it. So she really didn't understand anything. So I like earlier in the day I explained like, hey, here's like the Sparks Notes version about this world. Like, there's these creatures, you could catch them with these balls. There's battling that's kind of like the NFL of this world, and yada yada yada. She understood like the straight up storyline. Like, yeah, it's a son trying to find his dad, is straight up detective story. Obviously she was very confused by like the creatures and like the little references and stuff, but she was able to enjoy the film for what it was. I feel like that's kind of important for this film to have achieved, where somebody who doesn't know anything about Pokemon or just has kind of heard the name before and knows what a Pikachu is can go in and still enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I think that was important to do for a first time doing a live action film for a bigger audience.
Yeah, it's great that this came out right off the heels of Let's Go Pikachu, because I'm sure there was a lot of first time players with those
Yeah,
games
with
because they're a
Switch.
lot easier. Yeah.
Even like the Pokemon Go craze that's going on, it's like they still don't know, like there's battles and stuff like that, and you can see the Pokemon evolve and stuff like that, but there's no like in-depth storyline with that game. So Let's Go was a good bridge to from Pokemon Go to the main series, and then the next one to come out, Sword and Shield's probably just going to be main series finally.
Yeah.
But it's like it's a good time, like if as long as like they come from these areas, or even just not even understand it before and then see all this and then like, hey, I want to play a main series, maybe it's a good transition into that so it gets more people, even though I think the fan base for Pokemon is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
But I mean, I'd imagine it's growing every day with every person who gets a Switch and wants to play something like Let's Go.
Yeah.
And I'm sure once Sword and Shield comes out, it's going to be a whole new thing of like, oh, I've heard about this Pokemon thing before. Let's see what this is about. I have a Switch. I got a Switch for Christmas, so
Yeah.
might as well check it out. The other thing I loved that was a pure nostalgia play was actually getting a pair of Pokemon cards when you go into the theater.
Oh
that's
man,
great.
I forgot all about that, and then I got like home. I'm having flashbacks.
Yeah,
What cards did everyone get?
So everyone got Detective Pikachu, most likely, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone got. So I think there's three.
There's multiple different ones.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's
So-
three. I saw a list of them, but then I
Okay.
saw there was a third one out there somewhere.
So I got Detective Pikachu, and then my boy Charmander.
Nice,
Bastard.
Matt.
I got Psyduck. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I got Magikarp.
Yeah. And since I went
Splash.
twice, I got Snubble and Charmander.
Nice.
Damn it.
So, they're all holographic in a way, not like the true holographic, but
Right.
Yeah, there
Right,
are.
it's just foil.
Yeah, there is a GX, right? Those are the, like super. Crazy
Yeah,
ones.
you have to buy the sets for those ones.
Oh, you do. So the little
Like
piece
the
of paper that
Charizard
came with it-
GX, the Mewtwo
Mewtwo.
GX, and the Greninja GX. You have to get
Oh,
the
okay.
sets.
Oh,
ones
okay.
that
I
are at
thought
the stores.
I thought those were like super rare that you could get.
No.
I don't know. Let's jump into some questions that we got from some homies.
some homies.
Homies.
Mick, the nanobiologist, asks, besides the acting, what parts of the movie do you think fell flat? What was your favorite Pokemon that you spotted in the movie? Mine was by far my boy, Arcanine.
I will be the odd egg in this bunch, but I thought the ending with father and son fell flat for me, because it was nice hearing like, "Hey kid," and then it's Ryan Reynolds, and I understand they don't really have this true relationship yet, that they're trying to build it up. It just felt like a lot of waiting, and then it's like, okay, we're finally gonna spend some time. Like, great. Loved it. It just, I don't know. It for some reason it didn't work for me. Maybe I had to see it again. But
That got spoiled for me on Wednesday. So
oh really?
yeah, unfortunately. But it still kind of worked for me. It was definitely weird, but
Yeah, I think it was just a little weird for me. Like, then I'm like thinking, how can we do a second one? We can't really do a Detective Pikachu 2, but we can expand upon the world. Like, I guess it could build into a different universe, or
we have
just,
a question about that coming up, so we'll talk
Oh,
about
sorry.
that.
But
For me, the moment that kind of fell flat was kind of the third act with Nai Mewtwo. I wanted more of a battle, but that's just my own expectations going in and everything.
Yeah. But we got Pokefloats.
I'm just happy that finally we see Pikachu kick some butt though.
Yeah, I thought
That was cool.
seeing Pikachu get his power, like remembering his powers, was
Yeah.
kind of hype.
Yeah, I will
Well,
say,
not even
like,
remembering his powers; it's Ryan Reynolds understanding Pikachu's powers.
Yeah, and then Electro Ball and then Mewtwo's Shadow Ball collision. I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love. It was such like an MCU moment of like, I didn't need to beat you; I just needed to distract you.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah. Kelsey.
I don't know. Like, not a lot fell flat for me. I think the only thing was I feel like when he fainted, it was too, like, quick and then done. Like, he fainted and then it was cut straight to, you know, Justice Smith, Tim, I couldn't figure out his name, just freaking out, like, instantly. Like, let us, like, wallow on that he fainted for a little more. Yeah.
Yeah, true. As somebody who didn't have a Pokemon, like a Pokemon partner, I think he didn't understand
Right.
that also, like, and especially being in the middle of a forest, you can't, like, yeah, at least his first reaction was like, I need a healer Pokemon. I need something. Like, obviously, I can't go into a city.
How badly were
think-
you thinking, like, where's Misty? Get her bicycle.
Yeah. Well, going into this film, like, before I knew Lucy's character's name, I thought that was going to be fucking Misty.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I mean, it's a female trainer with a Psyduck.
Red
Yeah.
hair.
Like, yeah, with the hair. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess that scene just fell flat for me because our entire theater cracked up when he fainted.
that too. That sucked.
Like, it was very weird.
Got
Yeah.
dark.
Like, what the heck?
Am I in a theater full of murderers?
Mike, we need to go.
Harry, I'm not even going to try to say his last name unless you want to try.
Lozoidus.
Mike,
Lozoidus.
was there no part that fell flat for you? And then
No,
there's-
this is a perfect film. We're going to move on now.
there was a
Oh.
second part of that question.
Yeah, there was
there
the second part.
What was your
Oh,
favorite
shit. Sorry.
Pokemon?
Favorite Pokemon. I think mine was Gengar. I think his design was just so freaking creepy and really cool looking. I think they really nailed that without, like, making it more realistic and, like, genuinely a terrifying ghost. The fucking teeth and the eyes, like, ugh. Damn.
I thought Flareon was beautiful, but I think my favorite that I saw through the whole thing was Bulbasaur. How just gorgeous Bulbasaur looked.
I
And the
kept
little
waiting
squeaks.
for him to say Bulbasaur.
Yeah,
Just
And,
the
well, I said-
sounds he made was
Yeah,
so
the
cute.
little squeaks, the beeps. I love that, and
Yeah.
the way they did Bulbasaur's eyes were fantastic.
I think one of the cool scenes was like when Tim sees Psyduck in the alleyway, or
Yeah.
he's
Yes.
like walking towards the apartment. You see Pokemon in the back in the alley, like they're walking across, and then you see like a dark Charizard. I'm like thinking, like, that's a shiny Charizard.
So, Jake was your favorite Psyduck, or?
No, definitely not. No, it was the Charizard in the
shadow
back.
Charizard.
The shadow Charizard.
Oh,
I'm
the
just
shadow
thinking-
Charizard.
I'm just thinking that's a shiny Charizard. Don't tell me otherwise.
Yeah, mine's a toss up between Squirrel Squad or Charizard when he's not under the influence and he kind of backs down like a wounded animal. He's like, "Oh, please don't."
Yeah.
He's like water. He's like tuck his tail in. Like
Yeah.
don't.
Tim, I can't float.
Yeah.
I will say seeing Greninjas, like the Greninjas running through the
Yes.
the forest, whatever, through there and just jumping. I was like, oh, that's so badass. I'm like,
That
they were
was
so
my-
awesome.
My thing with Greninja was like I never mentally pictured Greninja to be like 6 foot tall.
They're
So it was
yeah,
just really cool.
because they're always like on the ground like a frog, but then you
Yeah.
see them running, and then I'm just like,
And, yeah,
Greninja's
it's
always been like
comparison.
my favorite. So cool.
Sticky.
The
Yeah.
one-shot Pokemon that I love that we only get to see once is the Octillery doing
Yes.
the,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was
sushi
cool.
on the sushi stand.
Yeah.
Like very super in the background. I thought that was really cool.
Shout out to Lickitung just being disgusting.
Oh yeah.
Is this anybody's Lickitung? No. Alright.
No. Oh.
So good. I guess that's a good segue into Harry's question. Well, he also asked what favorite Pokemon CGI, but also least favorite, and which Pokemon did you want to see that we didn't? Least favorite, I don't really think I have any.
No.
I think they're all pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, there wasn't
They're
one
all
that's like
impressively done. I would say
Yeah.
the one disappointing moment, I guess, is kind of falls into what you want to see, sort of. I wish that we got the marker moment with Jigglypuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought that would have been a really cool little thing, especially when I think we go back to that bar. Yeah, we go back to the bar twice, or the cafe.
Yeah.
It would have been cool seeing like the payoff the second time around, her drawing on the human's face. But which one I wanted to see? I would have loved to have seen a Raichu, but that's just because he's my boy, and I thought it would have been a cool like little moment seeing Pikachu react to a Raichu,
Yeah, that would have been cool.
kind of. Yeah.
I'm freaking surprised we had the Buffalant, or whatever the Pokemon's name is, the one
Yeah.
with the fro.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap. I thought we would have seen Tauros before that Pokemon.
That's
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love seeing
Okay.
the in that first establishing shot also, like them and the Doduos in the field just roaming around with all the Pidgeys, obviously.
Yeah, that was so cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
Matt?
Oh,
Oh, Jake, you didn't answer. I'm sorry. Yeah, who do you want to say?
I mean, my boy Sylveon, but we didn't get to see a lot of Eevee evolutions anyway, so
Yeah.
that's
Well,
kind
that
of
works perfect because I wanted to see Umbreon.
right. Matt,
Yeah.
I just had it and I forgot. I will say there wasn't a least favorite CGI design on any of them. I felt they did an amazing job with all those. Yeah, no, I can't remember. I had a good one, but well, I'll just say Mudkip.
yeah,
Yeah, Mudkip cool. I love the short little clip we got of Totodile. I thought
my
Totodile looked
God.
fucking dope.
Yes.
dude, the teeth on him. I was like, oh, I don't want
Yeah.
one of those.
Yeah, really cool.
I would have liked to see how they would have done
I
Cyndaquil.
Yeah,
see.
Cyndaquil
I
would've been cool.
honestly thought we were gonna get Cyndaquil in this game or in this movie, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, the nanobiologist asked the second question regarding a sequel. What kind of sequel or follow-up movie would you like to see? Well, I don't think we're getting a Detective Pikachu sequel.
Right.
Like, I don't think we can. I mean, I would like just a trainer story, but I don't really know how you do that in a film.
In this one, like you'd have to do it in parts probably.
I guess. I mean, but what would you do? A few badges per film? Like,
Even then, it's like it's weird.
it's hard to. I mean, granted, I feel like they're just gonna do another one-off kind of story. Like, you can't really do the traditional trainer story.
Yeah,
But
maybe
it's just
maybe-
hard to picture what that would be, because like all the Pokemon films already are just one-off stories, but with the baggage of the Pokemon series.
What would be cool? Might be too much, but it would be cool if like we did have like an adventure story, but in between those we had one-offs, kind of like how they doing it with Star Wars.
Yeah. So like a trilogy plus one.
Right.
You could do that, or you could probably treat it like a Alolan story where you don't have actual gyms and
Oh.
you just have leaders.
True.
That
yeah.
was
And then you
the
could just like do 4 of them or something like that, and then do the Elite Four in a one movie.
that was the Pokemon, the Alolan Doug Trio. That's the one I wanted
Oh.
to see.
I mean, you could
Yeah.
do something like that.
Yeah. I mean, would that be like, granted, for Pokemon fans, it would be entertaining enough, but would that like realistically work in a film? Just a 2-hour film with just battles, where there's no real drama or anything?
Well, that's the thing. Like you go for like you use Tim as the example of someone who never trained, and he didn't get his own Pokemon. He starts doing his own adventure. Finally, you don't spend a lot of time with like the battles per se. It's more of like him building a relationship with Pokemon and maybe running into like a Team Rocket type deal. I don't know if that's going to be too much.
Yeah.
Because you're putting 2 hours worth of history of a Pokemon game, and how many hours did we playing these Pokemon games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to put that emotional detail into 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
why
you
like
you could sort of just do the side storylines. Like, you could do a movie about like the Celadon Casino. You could do a film about the Goldenrod, the radio tower with the Red Gyarados story, stuff like that. But again, it's just without the baggage. It's just,
how great would it
weird.
be just to get like a one-off like a Team Rocket movie, and
love
Giovanni's the
that.
leader, and you
Yeah.
just see like the rise of Team Rocket or something like that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm obviously there are smarter people than us trying to figure that out, and I'm sure there is a plan. Because I mean, they somebody straight up said, like, if this does well, which it's going to do well enough,
Yeah.
they are going to make this into a franchise,
Yeah.
which is a beautiful thing.
Dude, see, I was just thinking like with this, like if you did a Team Rocket movie, or maybe you just label it Giovanni, and then the final scene is him battling Red and losing, and then going off
Yeah,
seclusion.
Do you guys think they shouldn't have had the emotional payoff at the end, so we could have gotten another Detective Pikachu?
no, I think it was a good bookmark. I don't think you should, cliffhanger it.
Yeah.
I think it was fine.
Yeah,
It worked
it's
for
just-
me. It was definitely weird, but I mean, obviously I'm in the special case where it got spoiled, but it worked.
I wouldn't mind a Detective Pikachu 2 where it's like a buddy cop with Tim and his dad, and then their Pokemon.
That'd actually be good.
Yeah, they might do that.
Could do that. Well, yeah, just piggybacking off of that, JT Casaro asks if we do get a sequel, or when we get a sequel or a follow up, will Pikachu talk in it? No, right?
No.
I think they burnt that bridge.
Yeah. Kind of sucks, but yeah, they burned that bridge.
Yeah.
Unless they like bonk somebody on the head and they hallucinate Pikachu talking.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
And then he also adds, who would you like to see cast as Ash/Red/Blue if that's the next movie?
Nobody.
I would actually like it to be like
An unknown.
since now we have like Mewtwo established that this happened 20 years ago. I would like it to be a new trainer and like Red is the champion and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking also.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, again, if let's hypothetically say it was Tim going on his Pokemon journey, that's just our protagonist, and yeah, he's
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
Get out of here. He's way too old.
Hey, it's 20 years later.
Oh, you mean for Red? Okay, I thought you meant for a new trainer.
Oh no.
The nanobiologist says if they do a 10-year-old Ash, it should be Finn Wolfhard, which I'd be into.
Yeah.
He's almost too old right now.
Yeah, he's getting up there. But,
Who's that?
He's getting up. He's like 15.
well, he also says, well, maybe a Red, which, yeah.
I mean,
see
if
that.
yeah.
Who's Finn?
Stranger Things and...
Okay. What
Yeah.
about the kid who played Atreus?
Sonny. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Sonny's cool. I like Sonny a lot.
Who could be Gary?
Anyone.
You know what? I know he's older. I freaking would love Steve from Stranger Things to be Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has that, like, he can play a dick if he wants to be.
Yeah, and it's like, smell you later. Just
I do like there was a quick little shout out to when Ryan Reynolds was talking to the grandma, talking about the grandma. It says Gran instead of like grandma, like kind of call back to Gramps from the games. A lot of sequel questions. Let me see.
Steven Fontana.
Fontana, right. I don't know why I'm forgetting everybody's last names. Stephen Fontana of was it Nintendo Dual Screens podcast
Very good.
asks, should the next movie be a standalone or a universe building tie-in? We kind of talked about this.
Well,
I
we
don't know.
thought like
I mean,
how could they do a sequel? But rather what we think they should do.
yeah. Well, I think it will be a standalone, but it will also
yeah,
be part of a universe.
Yeah, like connect, but not
because
be.
you can always do like, oh, this is Rhyme City, and then there's other places like they mention different because they already mentioned Kanto and stuff.
Yeah,
like
you
that,
saw posters for Johto and Sinnoh.
Yeah, Hoenn. You saw posters for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super interesting to see what the hell they can do so many things, but yeah. JT asks again, if you get one partner Pokemon to team up with in Rhyme City, who would it be?
Oh.
Greninja.
Oh, so an already established Pokemon that was in the movie?
Yeah,
I would say so.
Nanobiologist also he adds on, does it have to be the one shown in the movie, or assuming more are available? Let's say the ones in the film.
He does say
Okay.
anyone.
Oh, JT says anyone. Okay, so let's say anyone.
If I'm going by in the movie, I'm going to say Charizard. Outside the movie, though, I don't know.
I'd say in the movie, I'd say Jigglypuff. Outside the movie, I'd say Ninetales.
Oh, that's right. We didn't see a Vulpix, did we?
No Vulpix.
No.
Inside the movie, Gengar. Outside the movie, give me a little Rowlet.
Little Hoothoot.
Little Hoo-Hoo.
Dude, his shiny form's so amazing.
Shut the fuck up.
No, I will not.
Did you see the hard drive article? It's like you need to see Detective Pikachu 15,000 times in order to get a shiny Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, Mario Rivera tweeted at me. He's like, "That you?" I'm like, "Don't tempt me."
It's so good.
So yeah, in the movie would be Greninja for me, and then outside the movie, dude, I freaking would love any dragon type man. Would be awesome.
I'm surprised we didn't see like a Dragonite.
Give me a Bagon. Give me a Bagon, then I can
Bagon?
evolve him.
All right.
Yeah. And I'll evolve him.
Lucario would be cool too.
Yeah.
Dude, Lucario. I thought Lucario was going to be in this movie.
Yeah.
Same.
I feel like since they had Greninja, they wouldn't have put Lucario because they could be kind of
Yeah.
similar looking. They
Yeah,
could.
with
Because at first, when Greninja was walking through the city, like when he first enters Rhyme City, I thought that was Lucario at first, and I was like, oh no, that's not. That's actually Greninja.
Yeah. I feel like for a mainstream audience, that would have been a little confusing because they realistic designs probably could look pretty similar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, what about you? You think of something?
There's so many Pokemon.
Yeah.
Outside the movie, Alolan
807
Dug Trio.
though.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Some Doug Trio.
Yeah. Go on tour. That's Hanson. That's all the questions we got. Thank you all for all the questions.
Sweet.
I don't know. Closing thoughts?
I enjoyed it. I look forward to what's next. I'm very curious as to what will be next.
Can't wait to go see it again tomorrow. By tomorrow, I mean Sunday, whenever this posts.
Yeah, no, I'm biased because it is my favorite franchise and this is my favorite IP in general, but I absolutely loved it. I think they absolutely nailed it. Obviously, it's not perfect. I know I was like joking, but this could have easily been such a fuck up, and it could have ruined the chances of making this into a universe that's. I'm just using the MCU as an example because that's like the easiest thing to pull from, but like a universe like that, and I do think that this is the Iron Man of both Pokemon films and just video game movies in general.
Do you see this being more successful for Warner Brothers than the DC?
Oh, yeah.
I think it will.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
granted, like BVS and stuff like they made a shit ton of money off the
Yeah.
front end, but
But people actually like this.
Yeah.
I have
I
a
think-
question.
right. I think this is gonna be kind of a slow burn. I think it's gonna be like more of a Spider-Verse situation where it's not gonna be a ton of money right away.
No.
But with word of mouth, especially from like rabid Pokemon fans, it's gonna
Yeah.
grow and grow as the weeks go on. I did see an article that this is. I mean, it's not really a hard threshold to hit, but this is the. It had the biggest opening for a Friday/Thursday for any video game movie. Which the previous record holder was the last Tomb Raider movie.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. No, maybe it might have been the Angelina Jolie Tomb
Okay.
Raider.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I said, wow.
So,
Sorry.
for you guys, was your theater packed?
Yes.
Yes, for both nights, my shows were sold out.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, Jake, we went at like, you went what 3:30? I went at 4:15.
4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the 4 o'clock showing at my theater actually was a little more packed. There was kids and families and stuff in there. 4:15, there was maybe like 4 other people in the theater for me.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
4 o'clock for me, I had like less than 40 people. And I was like, huh, this is interesting.
I mean,
But then
it's a weekday. It's before
Yeah.
people are off work.
I
Yeah.
thought there would have been more. Like, I knew this wasn't going to be like an end game killer, but
But to be fair, like these were early ass showings for like
Yeah,
a movie that
even
just
for-
came out.
Even for us, the first showing on Thursday was 4 p.m.
Yeah,
which is weird. Like, usually
It's
it's
for
6.
kids.
yeah, it's for kids. Yeah,
Yeah, my Thursday 7 p.m. was sold out. Last night at 9:30 was sold out. I'm looking at Alamo's app again now. Their next show, which is at 9 p.m., is also pretty much sold out.
nice.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
I really hope this movie does well.
it looks like all
Me
the
too.
screenings for tomorrow, most of the screenings for tomorrow, except for the night screenings, which is weird, are pretty much sold out.
Will this make more money than Avengers this weekend?
No.
It already
did.
it beat it on Friday.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah. You guys are laughing, but- yeah. It's so far it's number 1.
Cool.
Nice. I
so good for
was
it.
worried about that because they were releasing so close to another.
Yeah, that was one thing I was worried about with this movie. It's like after the emotional toll, Endgame had on me. It's like, man, is this Pokemon movie going to be good? And thank God I kept my expectations low because it made it that much more better for me.
Yeah, I mean, watching the trailers and stuff, I had a feeling that they nailed it. I feel like they probably couldn't have fucked it up with how great the trailers were looking, but I was still cautiously optimistic, and it honestly exceeded my expectations.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as it opens up with the lab and Mewtwo, I was like, "Fuck, I'm so into this. They got it."
Yeah.
It was even like having Mewtwo in the same pose as like the first movie.
Yeah, like, did you guys notice on the computer screen on the lab when they rewind time on the holograph thing? For the image of Mewtwo is like his, pose where he's standing up and one arm's out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That too, like all the little callbacks, like using the assets from the games and the anime and stuff, like all the poke floats, all the signage. It's all the anime.
Yep. The Meditate Yoga Center.
Yeah, Meditate Yoga, the Hi Hat Cafe being Noctowl is really cool. Also, we didn't even talk about the credits. I love the credits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were
Opening with like a Game Boy Pokemon battle, and then just using all the art assets.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the hype ass fucking score. Yeah,
All right.
Kelsey, closing thoughts.
I mean, my closing thoughts were I loved it, and I just think it was so well done, and I'd love to see them do more with the attention to detail that they put in this. Like, even just, I said to you before, looking at the gif of Pikachu, like, you could just see concern in his eyes, and, like, I want more movies that are that detailed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One last thing I want to call out was just the Pikachu Psyduck relationship. And just how fucking terrified Pikachu was the entire time, and just establishing like
he's strapped in a car seat next to a bomb.
Yeah.
Don't get a headache. Don't get. Wait. No.
I'm not gonna rub your feet. Do you cherish your friends' lives? Okay, I'll rub your feet.
Yeah.
So good. Oh, the friend that I went to the movie with who didn't understand this world or anything, she literally thought Psyduck was gonna explode. So she was very concerned the entire time. And she was like, it kind of ruined the entire movie for me because I thought those animals could just commit suicide. I was like, oh no, psychic energy, yeah.
Yeah, no, he'll kill everybody else, just
Yeah.
not himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good. Well, I think that about wraps it up. Thank you guys for listening. You go, Kelsey. How about you pimp yourself out first? Where can we find you? I heard you started a new project adventure thing.
I started a Patreon for myself for my artwork and everything, which I drew Mike a lovely Detective Pikachu.
It's
so
amazing. I'll throw it
good
up on
tie-in.
Twitter and Instagram and stuff.
So you can find me patreon.com/Kelsey Lynn Art. I'm on Twitter at Kelsey Lynn 1031, Instagram at Kelsey Lynn.1031, and at Kelsey Lynn Art. All the fun places.
Well, thank you for doing this with me. Us.
Holy shinks! You started
yeah.
a Patreon?
Yes, I did.
Good delayed reaction.
I didn't want to interrupt her while she was
know.
pimping it out, but I still wanted to say it.
Yeah. Yeah, please go follow her. Her, honestly, like, I know I'm biased because I get to kiss her and stuff every day. But
That's the only reason why he's biased, everyone.
Yeah. But no, seriously, her art is fucking incredible. I couldn't be more proud of her, and she deserves all your money and love and attention.
Well, thank you.
Because I get to kiss her and stuff every day.
I could have went darker with that.
You could have.
I'm scared.
Jake, where can we find you?
Jake P47, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. I'm done.
You can find me at Shivs42 on Twitter and Instagram.
And then you can find me. Sorry, we had a situation in the room. We hear a weird noise, and now Kelsey's going to explore.
Do you have a knife if I get murdered?
No, I have. I might have a knife somewhere.
This is a great way to end a podcast. Someone might get murdered.
Yeah, it is. You can find me at Towndrow1214 on Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. And you can follow us at LTDED on Twitter, LTDED Podcast on Instagram, because I screwed that up and my headphone fell out. And you can find us at, you can find the full schedule of upcoming, the games that we're playing and releases, all that kind of stuff at LTDEDpod.com. The next episode will be about Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire with Caitlin of Your Geeky Gal Pal. That'll be posting the first Friday of June, so look forward to that. You still have time to start your homework, so please play along with us. Ask us your questions. We are super excited to talk about that one. So far, just a little tease for it. It's so nice playing a modern Pokemon game because I am playing the remake, and goddamn. Some of those quality of life features, game changers.
You know what's also nice? Getting a shiny in less than 1,000 tries.
Yeah.
And then actually right after the heels of that next episode is our E3 stuff.
Oh yeah, it's fucking June
Dear
already.
God.
Can you believe that? Yeah. Yeah, and as always, as we said last episode, we also started the KindaNYC podcast network. We're a part of that, so go give at KindaNYC some love. Go give at Dollar Slice Pod some love, and at BF's Talk Funny some love. BFS. Yeah, well, I said BF.
What is your release schedule for Dollar Slice podcast?
We do it every 2 weeks. We usually record on a Friday night, and I do a quick turnaround for a posting on Saturday. So every other Saturday we post.
Okay.
And that's just general bullshitting, hanging out, talking about whatever was relevant for that week.
Yeah, it's good.
So our last episode, we did our little Endgame discussion. We did Game of Thrones discussion, talked about gas stations, talked about Catholic school, and me getting kicked out of church once. Yeah, it's a good time.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
It's a fun story. Go listen to it.
It is a fun story. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. We will catch you in Ruby and Sapphire Land.
Catch you.
Yeah, catch. Because it's about Digimon. Okay. Goodbye, guys. Love you.
Bye.
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 Cool.